Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be doing a deck profile of a deck that I have a strong love-hate relationship with. That is for certain, and that is my Nekroz deck. Yes, why do I have a love-hate relationship with Nekroz? Well, let's see. They were meta, super meta back in the day, and even back then I actually wanted to build the deck because I love the lore, I love the artwork, and I love their playing style. So I had a love-hate relationships because I was like, I'm going to build this deck, and then I saw Brio be extreme amounts of money and getting one per case and all that crazy stuff back in the day, and I said, nope, no thanks, it's not worth the money. But when it gets reprinted, haha, that's when I'll build it. So a couple years ago when it got reprinted, I built the deck. One thing I also want to mention to you guys as well is there are a bunch of different ways to play Nekroz. There really is. You have the Dogmatica version of Nekroz, which the Dogmatica version of Nekroz is really good. I like it. I actually just recently got the cards from the Megatin. I've been playtesting that build. In addition to that, I was already playing with that build actually online for a long period of time. There's also the Dryatron version of Nekroz, which you can go down that route if you want to. Preferably from playtesting it and just playing around with it, I feel like I was playing more Dryatron than Nekroz, so I was like, I don't know. But there were some cards and combos that I liked from that build that I tried to fit into this deck because I have certain cards. So you're going to see some interesting, this is a very interesting Nekroz build. Like I said, you can play, Dogmatica, you can play this version, that version, go right ahead, be my guest. But this is what I've been playing with, and I just wanted to share this with you. It's been working out pretty well. So first off, we got our 3 Nekroz of Unicorn. Thank you, Konami, for bringing this back. This card is amazing. It's not as great as it used to be, per se, but it's still a very good card and a staple 3 of in this deck for what it's able to do to shut down extra decks. Staple card, in my opinion, for the most part. 3 Unicorn, love the card. I need to get one more secret one day, but I'm just picking it up as I go. 3 Nekroz of Brio. Brio is your searcher for the deck if you're not familiar with Nekroz at all. You will once in a while bring it out onto the field, but mainly you're going to be pitching your Brio to search things out. You do summon it onto the field once in a blue moon, just like Valk, just like some of the other ones. They come out from time to time, that is for certain, but it's mainly going to be in here as a searcher. So 3 of your Brio. I love the lore and the artwork of Nekroz, by the way. 3 Valk. This is something I go back and forth with everybody that plays Nekroz. Some people say 1 Valk, some people say 2 Valk, some people say 3 Valk. And I've literally had discussions with buddies of mine who play Nekroz even to this day, and they're like, I like 3. And then I'll ask them the next time, like 2 weeks later, and they'll be like, I like 2. And then I'll ask them again, they're like, I like 3. And then they'll say, oh, I like 1. And this is not just one person. This is like every Nekroz player I've ever talked to. It's weird. I don't know if it's just my area. I don't know if it's just me. And I've had the same issue too. So you can run your Valks at whatever ratio you want. You want to run 2 Valks, run 2 Valks. You want to run 1 Valk, you run 1 Valk. If you want to run 3 Valk, run 3 Valks still. I'm running with 3. I may go back to 2. I think 1 is too little. I do sometimes bring them onto the field. I'm just going to let you know that. But I do like Valk as a 2 to 1 of in the deck nowadays. A 2 to 3 of. But that's up to you to play around with. I mean, play around, run whatever ratio of Valk you want to run. Every Nekroz deck profile I've ever seen in my life, people run different ratios. 2 Colossus. Colossus is pretty good still in this deck. I like it as a 2 of for the most part. I've seen people not even run Colossus nowadays. That's up to you if you don't want to do that, but I still like 2 Colossus. Yeah, there was some deck profiles I saw. 1 Trish. This is something that it's up to you to decide. I like 1 Trish. I used to run 2 Trish back when I got to play with my buddy's deck years ago, back when Nekroz were meta. He used to run 1 Trish, and it was because you didn't want to brick with Trishula and you wanted to use it at the proper time. So saying that, I get 1 Trish, but we also now have Nekroz of Adabahar. I can never pronounce this one. Adabahar? I'm butchering the name. The new one that came out of earlier this year. So I decided, instead of running double Trish, I'm going to run 1 of this and 1 of this. I have seen people run double Trish and this, and maybe they're running 2 Valk instead. Play around with the ratio, figure out what you want, and then go from there, is all I'm going to say with that. But me, I like 1 Trish. If you drop it at the proper time, it's still powerful. And then I like the other big guy because he's a big boy that you can bring out and does a lot of great, cool things. Now, I do run some of the other Nekroz cards that not a lot of people run nowadays. Think of these more as hand traps than things you bring out to the field. Once in a blue moon, you do bring them out, but that's rare. Colossus I really like, Nekroz of Decisive Armor I like, because there have been instances where I want to punch over something with my Nekroz, maybe do a little bit extra damage to win a game, and Decisive Armor, because it's so easy to get it, search it, and get it to your hand, can really be beneficial in a lot of situations. It's a very versatile card to help punch over something and do things of that nature. Same thing with Gungnir. Some people like Gungnir, some people don't like Gungnir. I like Gungnir because it's going to give me protection. And protection is always good in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion, especially if it's searchable protection. So that's why I'm running these guys. You don't have to run them. If you're running maybe a Dogmatica version of Nekroz, maybe you don't run these, and you fit other Dogmatic cards into your deck. But the way I'm playing this deck, I have space, I'm going to run it. Next up, we run 1 Cyber Angel Ben 10. Now, you may be saying, wait, hold on. You're running Ben 10. That must mean you have a certain card. Yes, that is correct. So, 1 Ben 10 in my deck. You're not always going to utilize it, but it's pretty good to have. It's at 1 of still. 1 Necro Strategist of Shuret. You can run, Shuret's still good in the deck. Love it. Great card. And then the one card that you probably saw the Ben 10, you said, I see what you're doing. Diviner of the Herald. So Diviner of the Herald is really awesome in this deck. A lot of people, if they're running this, they're running, like I said, my deck's very interesting. They're either running a more Dharmatica build with this, or they're running more Dryatrons with this. Because they have Dryatrons and they have this. Me, I don't want to just build a Dryatron deck with Nekroz in it. I wanted to build something just utilizing this card along with other things, and then the Dharmatica build's a little bit different altogether. But this card's really awesome, and I really wanted to run this card and abuse its ability. So you're going to see some cards here in a second that are going to play around with Diviner of Herald. Basically, what Diviner of Herald is going to help you do is easily set up your Herald of the Arc Light much more easier. You send this to grave, you get your effects off, you get your rituals set up very much more quickly, you're good to go. But there are other things we can abuse with Diviner of Herald. I really like this card. I know it's still expensive. Hopefully it does get a reprint in the near future. Most likely it will, probably by the Megatins next year, if not sooner, because this card's really useful, and I do want to use it in other ritual-based decks besides Nekroz. Next up, I run 3 Manju of 10,000 hands. You may say, really? You're running 3 Manju still? Like, wow, you're running Divine Herald, you got Manju, like, woo. Like, okay, I mean, I know that's your normal summon, Seto, but, like, okay. Well, there's reasons why. Because if you don't get your Diviner of Herald off, guys, you're gonna need something else to get your play started, and that's Manju. But the other thing is, Manju is a fairy. And when I say that, you probably understand where I'm going with this now. He's a fairy. So he can be used either as a searcher, or he can be used because he's a fairy. Yes, I'm running the Eva package. I know you've probably seen this in Dryatron, but I love the package. So Eva did get hit to 1 of, but it didn't really... I thought when Eva got hit to 1 of, I said, okay, I'm not going to run Eva. I'm not going to run this package. I'll just run a Dharmatica package altogether. But I gave it a shot. I gave it a shot to see how it would go, and I actually like it. Because it gives... These hand traps are very powerful to stop certain cards and effects. It's free negation. If your Manju's dead in hand, okay, I'm just going to negate it with a Herald of Orange Light. Free negation, free hand traps. Also, it's easily searchable with Eva, so they're easily searchable hand traps for the most part. So, overall, really good. Yes, I have an Ultimate Tournament Pack 1 that a buddy gave to me. Thank you to David for giving this to me years ago. But I used to play this back in Agents years ago, and I had the cards, and I just hadn't used them in years, and then I saw Eva, and I was like, okay, I see how I can combine this, because a Dryatron showed me, then they hit Eva, and I was like, okay, do I still run it or not? And from playtesting, like I said, it's been working out pretty well. If you're running the Dharmatica package, you probably cut this out. You cut down the Manjus, you cut down the Valks to fit in the Dharmatica package. But as you can see what I'm doing, I'm trying to build my own little thing here. So I like that. It's been working out pretty well for me, and it's pretty good. 2 Nekroz Kaleidoscope, 2 Nekroz Mirror, and 2 Nekroz Cycle. Every Nekroz player, just like they can't figure out how many Valks they want to play, I see people run different ratios of this. I've seen 1 Kaleidoscope and 2 of these, and 2 of these. I've seen 1 and 1. I've seen every ratio of the ritual spells. Like, legitly. Like, it's funny. Me, personally, I like 2, 2, and 2. It's never been bad for me. It's never stirred anything wrong. I just like 2, 2, and 2. It's worked for me. You run the ritual ratios that you wish to run, is all I'm going to say, because every Nekroz player I've talked to runs different ratios. That's just honest. I'm being honest with you. I don't have honest a card, but I'm being honest with you. Next we have 3 prep for your recovery plays in your deck. Pretty staple, I feel like, for the most part. Pre-prep is really good to have in this deck. Happy it's back at 3 of. I remember when this card was at 1. Next we have 2 triple tactic talents. You can run the Gamma package, and some people do that, and that's fine, but I have triple tactic talents now, so I'm running this in the deck as a 2 of. If they negate your stuff, that's awesome. You get to do different things, so pretty good. For your other 1-ofs, I am running 1 Call by the Grave and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Call by the Grave is just good negation against hair trap stuff and just graveyard disruption. And then Rhoda, as you guys probably know by now, this is going to help search out your Shuret if you need to, as well as your Nekroz of Colossus. So this is your Rhoda is going to search out these 2 bad boys right here and here. So that's pretty straightforward on that department when it comes to the main deck. So that's the main deck, guys. Like I said, you can play around with it. I got 2 triple tactics talents in there. Really comes in handy. For your extra deck, like I said, we're going to be running things for Kaleidoscope and everything, but there's different things you can run. So pretty straightforward for any Nekroz build. You're running 3 Herald of Arclight, I think. 2 Elder Entity Nist. Some people like 1 Nist. I get it because of space reasons and what you're trying to do. Me personally, I have found a lot of instances where I wish I had a second Nist, and so I could use it for a certain situation. Maybe against a certain rogue deck that pops up. It happens from time to time. So I run 2 of it. I would not run 3 like I used to years ago. Run 1 Stardust Dragon. This is going to be working with your Stardust Cipher Dragon. There's some little cool plays you can do from time to time with these 2, so that's why we run it. We run 1 Cyframe Lord Omega, 1 Virtual Lord Kibi, Shinshi. I can never pronounce this guy properly, but the Virtual World card that came out a couple years ago, about like a year ago. Time Lord Vandeport. I can never pronounce this Time Lord, but this one. Ruddy Rose. I run it as my target because Akiza playmat. I mean, need I say more? We also run Star Eater in my deck. We also run Link Karibo. And lastly, we run 1 Salamangreat Almirage. These are in here in case of emergencies. You can go into these. These can be good, I'm going to say, protection-esque cards. Salamangreat Almirage is really good for, certain things. And then your Link Karibo, if things go south very quickly, guys, you can go into Link Karibo for certain things. There's certain little plays you can do with it. Especially, say, your Eva gets negated. I've had that happen before because pretty much this is going to be for your Eva play here, so you can get Link Karibo into Eva and get rid of it. So, and then you get your Herald of Orange Light. So that's what that's for. It's mainly in here for that. Sometimes you can use Salamangreat Almirage, but I do have instances where certain cards will get negated. It happens from time to time, like maybe a Diviner of the Herald gets negated, so you want to go into a Salamangreat Almirage, maybe for some protection plays or something like that for a ritual you have on the field that maybe already. It comes in handy, so I like just running these 2, but like I said, Link Karibo is for your Eva plays. So yeah, guys, that is the extra deck. I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile. Like I said, this deck is super fun to play with. I thoroughly enjoy playing with this deck a lot. Nekroz, like I said, are one of my favorite decks of all time. probably in my top, definitely top 10, maybe top 10, top 15 favorite decks of all time, because I just really enjoy the way they play. They're just such a fun deck. The lore, the artwork, I love it. So till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. Hope you guys all enjoy this Nekroz deck profile. If you did, remember to leave a thumbs up down below. And remember, guys, till next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you. Take care, everybody.